What's going on, guys? TKD 123 big review, and today I just got a brand new headset, ZA50s here. These are the newer edition of what I had previously, but I'm gonna wait to unbox that, and we are gonna talk about some news in the music industry. Starting off here, Travis Scott blew up absolutely in 2016. He came out with Birds. You guys know my opinion on Birds. It's my favorite album of 2016. And, I've been recently, on a big ride of Travis Scott. I really love his work and everything like that. And he is not stopping here in 2017. Last week, he announced his tour that he'll be going on, in this year, where it's called, Bird's Eye View, whatever it's called. And that will be starting here pretty soon. And on top of that, he also came out and said that he'll be putting out a full-length album as well in 2017. So he definitely has a lot of things coming on here in 2017, but he also added one more thing to the roster, and that's that he will be officially starting his own record label under his own supervision and under everything that revolves around Travis Scott. It'll be called Cactus Jack Records, which is I guess kind of a funny play off of Stroke My Cactus from that line from Birds and whatever, I don't know. But he is looking to create a better platform, a better experience, and a better way for artists to come up in the industry, and he kind of alluded to having a negative time doing that exact same thing when he was starting up. He alluded to these rough times, in saying what this label will be, and he said that there will be no lying about budget, no lying about release days, no lying about anything that revolves around the artist and the label and their music. He says that will be completely not there, and he alludes to just all these really niche and really specific bad things that ARS could come across. So maybe this is kind of telling of how he had his claim to fame, and how maybe the hurdles that were in his way were very present and were right there, and he's trying to prevent that with this Cactus Jack Records label. So definitely big ups to Travis Scott. I can't wait to see this unfold. I can't wait to see what new artists get breeded under this exact label. Moving on here, this was everywhere last week, and if you missed this, I don't know how you missed this, but Chance the Rapper donated $1 million to Chicago public schools. Now why would he do this, right? And obviously it's because he's a good Samaritan, right? He loves his city. He's from Chicago. Obviously he has a lot of love for the city he's from, much like Drake and Toronto, much like we see a bunch of other artists love their city as well, the Kendrick Lamar and Compton and stuff like that. And he here has taken a stand because he recently tried to talk to the governor of Chicago to make some changes. He had a big press conference, everything that he was present at, and trying to just make change, I guess, in Chicago, and those, he says, went very, very poorly. So he held this big meeting that was, I think, streamed on the internet like last week, whatever, and he announced that he will be donating $1 million to Chicago public schools. So hey man, big up, man. That's a real big thing to do. And along with a lot of people giving him praise, Michelle Obama, the former first lady, also gave praise to Chance the Rapper on Twitter, and she sent out a tweet to Chance the Rapper, saying thank you for whatever, and hey man, reps up, bro. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, we're gonna talk a little bit later about Chance the Rapper as well, going into the later topics, but we're gonna quickly kind of transition to another story that I want to talk about. Next, we're going to touch base on the Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj beef that unfolded a few weeks ago, and seeing this whole thing unfold has definitely been crazy. But Remy Ma has had a little bit of a change of opinion on her diss track. She went on BuzzFeed's podcast to explain her kind of, I guess, overall thoughts, after this whole beef kind of had settled down, whatever. And she actually regrets and is not really proud of the track that she made, as a diss to Nicki Minaj. She, went on to explain that, Remy Ma would much rather see them to create something, in music that could have been way better, would have been crazy, would have been dope. But she says also that, it was necessary and whatever, and, she overall isn't really proud of it because, it was around the time, well, actually, this podcast was uploaded around the time of International Women's Day, so I believe, that has something to do with it, where she feels that, hey man, we're women in the industry. We shouldn't be tearing each other down. We should be helping each other. We should be lifting, each other up in the industry and everything, and in music. So maybe that was a big issue with it as well, that she, kind of now has regrets about it. But overall, she is definitely, not really fond of her, I guess, decision to make the track. Now, Rick Ross, Big Boss, is back in the news. I think I always say that about Rick Ross, but whatever, it's not the point. He has his upcoming album, Rather You Than Me, and we recently got some new details pertaining to that exact album. Now, we got the official artwork for Rick Ross, and the way this was done is actually one of the most interesting and arguably funniest things ever done in the industry, I feel. So, rather than putting out, a simple Instagram post or a simple tweet, just showcasing the artwork, he really got Martha Stewart to bake a cake of the album artwork, and she officially unveiled it, the world premiere, on her official Instagram, and that was extremely funny. Just that's the best way to do it. If everyone did that, that'd be awesome. But the artwork is pretty cool. It's nice. So it's him, being a boss, and there's all this text behind him, rather you than me, kind of in like graffiti-esque text, so it's very, it's cool, it's fitting, whatever, just artwork, it's cool. However, what is more than cool is the official track list of this entire project. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 14 tracks, 14, 15 tracks, something like that. So it's a pretty sizable album. We're gonna get some pretty, substantial here. And the features on it are what has gotten everyone completely insane about this album as of late. We got Chris Rock, Young Thug, Wale, Future, Young Jeezy, Yo Gotti, Gucci Mane, Ty Dolla $ign, Nas, Meek Mill, and the list goes on and on, dude. It is a crazy features list, and this is definitely going to be a really, really good album. And I guess we'll all find out how the album turns out here on March 17th when it is projected to drop officially. Next up here, when you think of, a great trilogy of artists here, there was nobody that killed it. This group absolutely killed it with Young Money back in the early 2010s era, and that is Drake, Lil Wayne, and Nicki Minaj. That was a classic, man. Young Money to the death of me. Like, they were everywhere with that stuff, and they actually came back once more. Nicki Minaj had the track, called No Frauds, and it actually features Drake and Lil Wayne, and I feel, the song is pretty good. I like it. The instrumentals are pretty great on it. Nicki Minaj, I haven't been the biggest fan of Minaj, as of late, but she was, she held her own. Drake had a great flow. Short, Lil Wayne as well had a great flow, but they were both had very, very short verses in it, a very, very short part in it. But overall, it was a great track. It was cool, and it was nice to see that they are all, kind of back in the loop and kind of, collaborating again. And hopefully we will get some more from the three of them here very shortly. But we'll see. It's all up in the air. It's all up in speculation. Who knows? We still haven't gotten the Carter 5. We still haven't gotten More Life, which we are definitely going to discuss More Life here later in this episode. That we are definitely going to discuss it. Next up here, I want to talk about the anomaly in music that is Frank Ocean. Now, Frank Ocean, he has a lot of things going on, right? He just dropped Blonde last summer, and see, the thing about Frank Ocean is that historically, when we look at Frank Ocean when he dropped the album, which really is all we have to go from, is Channel Orange at this point. When he dropped Channel Orange, after he dropped that, he went into complete hiding. Nobody, heard from him from years at that point. He was not on social media. He did a couple of performances, of songs from Channel Orange and everything, but there definitely came a point where he just went under the radar and just went completely mute silent, and that's where we got our complete really anticipation and waiting on his next release. But here we have Blonde, and he is strangely active. If we look at what he's done, he dropped a song with Calvin Harris and Migos called Slide, and that was a very, very good song. A lot of people love that song, and it is definitely it's great. It's great. Like, there's nothing you can say about it. But then recently, we also got a new song from him called Chanel, and this track has been getting a lot of great reception. I love it personally. I feel like it's definitely like a beautiful Frank Ocean song. I love it so much, and it's just very weird to see from Frank Ocean, because historically, he would drop an album and then just not do anything else until his next album, right? Like, so this is kind of a weird thing we're seeing here, where we're seeing kind of a trend of Frank Ocean being a little bit more active in between albums here, and this could hopefully lead to maybe quicker releases. Maybe we'll get that. Maybe we could possibly get a new Frank Ocean album this year. Could we? I mean, it's possible. Like, he's obviously working on music still. Like, he's obviously in the industry, and he's obviously still being active as of late, even post Blonde. But just the actual thought of him actually, dropping an album this year, just a year after his last release, could actually be a thing. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys think that Frank Ocean is on this new trend where he's going to be active, even post an album? Let me know what you guys think. Now we're going to touch base on a small story here, and this is P&D versus Nicki Minaj. And this isn't a full-on beef. I feel like it hasn't really exploded, in terms of we had with Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj. But here we have P&D. He claims that he was part of the writing team and had some sort of collaborative work on Nicki Minaj's new track. And that track is Regret in Your Tears. And he says that he worked on the album, not on the album, but like he worked on the song, and that he definitely had some sort of footprint, some sort of way that he was a part of the track. And Nicki Minaj claps back and claims that he has nothing to do with it at all, that those claims are fake. P&D had nothing to do with the track at all. And so that's just kind of her take of it. And there definitely is some tension here, and there has been some tweets that have been put out, of P&D saying that, hey, Nicki Minaj is a great woman, you know what I'm saying, all stuff like that. That was kind of weirdly toned. But then we get a Instagram post from Nicki Minaj saying straight up like, yo, like these are false, these are facts, nobody wants to give me the credit I deserve on the track. They always want to say that, oh, you know, so and so wrote it, you know, not me, and stuff like that. So there definitely is, I feel like, a lot more, you know, shame and, you know, more animosity on Nicki Minaj's end of the spectrum. But we do, you know, are getting some, I guess, apologetic things from party next door. So maybe this is completely false, and maybe, you know, Nicki Minaj is being right here in this scenario. But who knows what we'll see. I doubt this will unfold to anything, you know, bigger than this. But and of course, I will follow up if it does. Now back to some Chance news. Now Chance the Rapper is dropping an album in 2017. That's no mistake. He even, you know, has been working with Childish Gambino, and they're also supposed to drop a mixtape or some sort of EP as of late. But they are trying to find time to do that, you know, with his busy schedule, with him working on Star Wars and stuff like that. But you know, we have here Chance Rapper giving some interesting, you know, statements about his new album. He is actually considering on selling his debut album, putting it up for purchase, right? And you know, when you really think of Chance the Rapper, if I'm not mistaken, I just remember him having this mantra of being like, hey, you know, music should be accessible to all, right? Like music, you know, should be something that everyone will have the ability to grab and ability to get without being hidden by a paywall, right? And so that's why I feel, you know, and that's why I really remember him saying that, and him, you know, that's the reason why he has his store where he's selling hats, selling t-shirts, selling posters, stuff like that, and going on tour and everything. And that's how he makes his overall revenue, through the merchandise sales, through the t-shirt sales, hat sales, and shows and stuff like that. So I feel like, you know, that was, I think, you know, stated by him personally, how he would get his, you know, his incoming revenue, as opposed to album sales or, you know, purchasing music, you know, through online sources and stuff like that. But of course, I could be wrong about this. I could be completely wrong. But you know, him also now here saying that, you know, he's thinking about selling his debut album, right? It seems kind of, you know, off base off what he said previously. Now he does give a reason why he wants to sell his debut album, and that's because he feels that he should be charting, right? And so apparently, you know, because he's not technically selling albums, he's not charting on the charts, and he, you know, doesn't, and like he goes on to defend it and saying that, hey, like, it's not the biggest deal of me being on charts, but it is kind of weird how, you know, he doesn't chart really, because he, you know, technically should be charting because he's so big, but he doesn't have the ability to, because he's not really selling music. So that's what he feels that is his main argument on why he, you know, is thinking about actually selling his debut album. And I feel like, hey man, you know, props to you, bro. If you want to sell it, if you feel that what you're creating, what your content is worth, you know, worth a purchase, worth a buy, then I say, dude, by all means, do it. Like, you have the power to, you know, pretty much, you know, label what you feel is worth money, right? Like what you feel is worth $1. You know, if you feel that your work is worth it, then I say, go ahead, dude, do it. And plus, it also shows kind of more backing. You know, of course, this is different from the game industry, where I can talk about, you know, ours, you know, on the game sides. You know, if a you know, game dev wants to put their game up for free or for sale, there's of course different, you know, viewpoints of how people, you know, view those two games. But beside the point, hey man, like, I fully support this, yo. Get your $1, bro. And lastly here, the highlight, really, I assume Drake saw my video last week. I appreciate it, bro, because you have finally given us a final release date for More Life, yo. And also, man, I appreciate you watching the video, because I'm 100% sure that my video swayed your opinion. Absolutely. But the official release date for More Life, Drake's next project, is this Saturday, March 18th, right? And it is obviously great news. Finally, we can stop talking about it. The next time I record a video like this, we will have More Life. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. And probably to make some, you know, light predictions here, it is pretty clear here that since it's dropping on a Friday, there will probably be OVO Sound episode 39 that he delayed from 2 weeks ago. Probably will be airing this Saturday. You know, that is going to completely debut More Life in its entirety. And then after the broadcast, it will be probably up for streaming for Apple Music exclusively, and maybe be up for purchase. I assume probably will be, but you know, who knows. And you know, that's what I assume here, that of course, you know, there's going to be an OVO Sound stream. He'll put it up for sale right after, or put it up for streaming on Apple Music right after the OVO Sound. So definitely look out for that, guys. Definitely look out for the More Life project to come out this Saturday. And let me know what you guys think about this. Should I stream it? Should I stream my reactions to you guys? Should I do it? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and share down below. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. And as always, I got you.